What if I told you the secret to growing unbelievably vibrant corn and tomatoes isn't in a modern fertilizer bag, but in a nearly forgotten soil technique from a century ago? There's an old-school method for building soil that was so good at creating fertile, productive gardens that it was simply overlooked. Today, we're digging up the expert techniques that create the perfect underground environment for amazing corn and tomatoes to thrive. Back in the late 1800s and early 1900s, before chemical fertilizers were everywhere, gardeners had to be masters of soil building. Their survival literally depended on getting the most out of every patch of land. They saw how forests created their own rich, dark earth and started mimicking it. This went way beyond just adding compost. It was a clever system of layering organic matter to build a permanent, self-fertilizing engine right under their feet. In Germany and Eastern Europe, this was known as Hügelkultur, which just means mound culture, where they'd build garden beds on top of decaying logs. Meanwhile, in France, the market gardeners of Paris, the maraîchers, used a different, intensive system to feed a huge city from tiny plots. They layered deep beds of fermenting manure to generate heat, which let them grow vegetables nearly year-round. Both methods produced incredible results, turning so-so soil into something truly extraordinary. So, what happened? If these techniques were so amazing, why aren't they common knowledge today? Well, the story isn't some secret plot where the methods were banned. The truth is a lot simpler: the rise of industrial agriculture. After World War II, factories that made nitrates for explosives were converted to produce synthetic nitrogen fertilizers. All of a sudden, fertility came in a bag. It was fast, it was easy, and it was marketed heavily as the modern scientific way to grow. Why spend time building a living soil bed when you could just sprinkle on some granules and get an instant green up? The old ways, which took patience and some physical work, were quickly dismissed as old-fashioned. Agricultural schools and companies championed the chemical-first approach, and generations of gardeners grew dependent on buying fertility instead of building it. That incredible knowledge of building soil was simply set aside because it didn't fit a business model that needed you to buy something new every year. The problem, as we now know, is the long-term cost. Chemical fertilizers often bypass the soil life completely. They can lead to compacted soil, nutrient runoff, and a cycle of dependency where the ground can't support healthy plants without more and more chemical help. These forgotten methods did the exact opposite. They built a resilient, living ecosystem that only got better with time. They created soil that acts like a sponge, holding water and nutrients and buzzing with the microbial life that is the real secret to a healthy garden. So how does layering a bunch of logs, leaves, and manure turn into a powerhouse for growing incredible vegetables? So it all comes down to creating a layered, carbon-rich environment that acts just like a forest floor. Think of it as building a giant underground sponge that's also a slow-release fertilizer. The heart of this method, whether it's a wood-based Hügelkultur mound or a compost-heavy intensive bed, is a deep core of organic material. At the very bottom, you lay down large logs and thick branches. This is your long-term carbon and water storage. As this wood slowly breaks down over years, it becomes incredibly porous, soaking up rainwater and holding it deep in the soil where plant roots can find it during dry spells. This is exactly why these beds are so drought-resistant. On top of the logs, you add smaller branches, twigs, and other brown stuff like fall leaves or cardboard. This creates air pockets for drainage and oxygen, which roots need to thrive. Then comes the green layer. Nitrogen-rich materials like grass clippings, kitchen scraps, and, most importantly, aged compost and manure. This is the fuel. It feeds the massive army of bacteria, fungi, and earthworms that do all the real work. As these microorganisms tear through the nitrogen layer, they generate a gentle heat, warming the soil from below and, honestly, often extending your growing season. They also start breaking down the woody layers, slowly releasing a perfectly balanced diet of nutrients for your plants for years to come. To finish, you just add a thick layer of topsoil and compost on top, and you're ready to plant. You've essentially built a self-powering ecosystem. It's a biological engine that holds water, creates its own fertilizer, and builds more topsoil every single year, all from stuff you might have otherwise thrown away. If you're geeking out on this soil science as much as I am, make sure you're subscribed. We're always digging up old school wisdom that can revolutionize your garden, and you won't want to miss what we uncover next. All right, enough talk. Here's how you can actually use this in your garden to grow some truly impressive corn and tomatoes. You don't need a huge space for this. It works great in a simple raised bed. Step 1. The wood foundation. In an empty raised bed or in a trench about a foot deep, start by laying down old, partially rotted wood. Hardwoods are great for this. They will be your long-term water sponges. Pack them in at the bottom of your bed. Step 2. Layer up the browns and greens. On top of the logs, add a thick layer of smaller branches and twigs. Then, add a layer of browns, fall leaves, straw, or shredded cardboard, and give it a good watering. Next up is the green layer, your nitrogen source. Be generous here with grass clippings, kitchen scraps, and aged manure or rich compost. This is the rocket fuel that kicks the whole system into gear. Step 3. The top off. Finally, you'll want to top your bed with a mix of good quality compost and the soil you originally dug out. You're aiming for a nice, deep planting layer, at least 6 to 10 inches. Your finished bed will be mounded up pretty high, which honestly gives you even more surface area to plant on. Now for the plants themselves. For impressive tomatoes, the secret is to plant them deep. Pick big, indeterminate varieties that are known for great flavor. When you're ready to plant, go ahead and gently pinch off the lowest sets of leaves, then bury the stem right up to the next set. A tomato plant has this amazing ability to sprout new roots all along its buried stem. A bigger root system means it can tap into all that water and nutrition you've built, leading to a stronger plant and some fantastic fruit. Just make sure you have a strong trellis ready. They'll definitely need it. For thriving corn, well, corn is a hungry plant and will absolutely love this nutrient-rich setup. Instead of a single long row, plant your corn in a block of at least 4 short rows. This is super important because corn is wind-pollinated, and a block formation makes sure pollen can get where it needs to go. Plant your seeds about an inch deep in that rich top layer. Once the stalks are about a foot tall, you'll want to hill them up by mounding more compost and soil around the base. This gives them stability against wind and, encourages even more roots to grow. For both, just finish with a 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch like straw or shredded leaves. This helps lock in moisture, keeps weeds down, and honestly, regulates soil temperature. Water them in and get ready to watch the magic happen. When you pair this soil building technique with the right planting methods, the results are really something else. Gardeners who swear by these methods report their crops aren't just bigger, but healthier and better able to handle pests and drought. Your corn stalks will grow strong and tall, producing well-filled out ears. Because the soil is full of slow-release nutrients, you avoid the boom and bust growth from chemical fertilizers, leading to steady, healthy growth all season long. Your tomatoes will be the stars of the neighborhood. The huge root systems, fueled by the water and nutrients stored in the mound, can support vigorous growth and a truly abundant harvest. You'll often see less cracking on the fruit from inconsistent watering, because the woody core acts as a steady water supply. The plants are simply less stressed and can put their energy into producing. But the biggest payoff isn't just one season of great vegetables. You're building soil capital. Your garden bed will get more fertile every single year as the deeper layers continue to break down. You're creating a living soil structure that will feed your garden for a decade or more. So, the forbidden secret wasn't a conspiracy. It was just forgotten. You know, it's really a return to a powerful, simple idea. We should feed the soil, not just the plant. By recreating a little piece of the forest floor right in our own backyards, we can build a resilient, self-sustaining garden that gives us the kind of results our great-grandparents would have been proud of. It's a bit more work up front, but the payoff is a garden that just keeps getting better. I challenge you to try it. Start with just one bed. Gather some old logs, leaves, and compost, and build your own soil engine this year. If you're going to give this technique a shot, let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure into the lost wisdom of gardening. Now go get your hands dirty.